All right, I am going live right now. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. It's going to be a little bit of a fun adventure today. We are going to be going through your closets and my closets at the same time. So I'm so glad that you've joined, and I think a few people are waiting. It looks like, yeah, we've got some people in there. Can you hear me okay? And can you see me okay? Is it all working all right? This tech stuff is sometimes a bit challenging. All right. And all right, so I did email the worksheets for today. So you are enrolled in the Define, Design, and Love Your Style course. And because of that, you've got some worksheets that you can do today, or you can also do those later in the week. And I'm going to kind of show you my process. I am in a need of an overhaul of my closet, and you'll see why. Today. Oh, great. I'm so glad it's all working. Thank you so much. Okay, it's great to see some of you, and I see some familiar names in the chat. So nice that you can join. And in case you haven't gone through this Define, Design, and Love Your Style course yet, this is a great start to the course. And it's going to really set you up to do the entire design process from the beginning. And so you might remember from that free mini course that we watched at the very beginning before you signed up for this course, that we have some specific fashion rules that we should try to follow, like the balance and proportion, also the merchandising aspect, outfit formulas, all those things that we touched on. And if it's been a while since you watched that free mini course, that's okay. You don't have to remember it all today. But I will kind of remind you about a few of those things as we go through. And the start of this is really that we have our entire collection, right? So anything in your closet, I refer to as your collection. So even if you go through phases of your life where you're not actually designing or sewing your clothes, you can also use this entire method whether or not you sew. And I know for me, I go through these fluctuations where I'm sewing a lot and then I'm buying clothes, and I'm often doing alterations to those clothes that I'm purchasing. So it really depends on where you're at in your life and whatever stage you're at, whether you're sewing a lot or you're buying a lot, or you're not buying anything, or you're set with how much you've got. You can still use this process. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the entire collection. So like we talked about in that free mini course, and this is public, just so that you know in the chat, some people might hop on to this live because of YouTube. So I didn't publicize it to everyone, only to people who are in the course, but people might hop on and see it. So I might do a little bit of explaining here and there in case people are not in the course. So that entire collection that we think of has many mini collections inside of it. And those mini collections might be clothes to work out in, like activewear, or maybe special occasion dresses or skirts or tops, blouses, things that are more dress it up type things. Then we also have workwear. So if we're going to work a lot and we have a specific attire for that, then that's another mini collection. Then we have everyday clothes. Then we have comfy clothes at home. And so all of these little things are mini collections within your entire collection. And when you're going through your closet, I highly recommend that you focus on just one. And this is a tricky part because we have so much that once we get into this mood that we want to just go through everything, and and I'm the type that I'm like, oh, I want to just get rid of this stuff, and other people are like, no, I want to hold on to everything. So, and then people are in the middle where they want to get rid of stuff, but they also want to hold on to stuff. So it's kind of finding that balance, and we want to be somewhere in the balance. And I highly recommend that you follow the process laid out in the online course, because it walks you through, before you get rid of things, why you're getting rid of those things. And that's what those worksheets are that I emailed to those of you who are students. And those worksheets are going to guide you further along in the process when we get into that module about what silhouettes are best for your body type. You're going to be utilizing this knowledge that you're going through in your collection today and creating kind of like a design Bible, so to say, of what silhouettes you love right now and what's applicable to your style now, because style also evolves and changes. So we are going through first one mini collection. If you can. If you can't and you're like, oh, I'm a little bit here and there, it's okay. It's whatever works for you. There's not a right or wrong here. But I do recommend whatever collection you start with, you try to stick with that if you can, and go through the whole design process through the course with that, because it's really going to help you understand the entire process. Like in the course, I did comfy wear, so all my at-home comfy clothes, because I really needed an overhaul with that. And now I'm at a point that I have a lot of clothes at home, comfy wear, that I love. So I'm not going to focus on that anymore. I'm going to focus more on my everyday clothes. And I had a lot of lifestyle changes. I went from wearing a lot of professional clothing to work, and now I'm working at home, sometimes going out to work, like cafes or libraries or things like that. But I still have found that even if I'm at home, I don't want to wear my comfy clothes all the time, because it doesn't make me completely motivated to get the stuff I need to get done. So I need to keep the mindset in my head too of what do I want to achieve with the types of clothes that I'm wearing. One thing that I also really noticed with the clothes that I've been wearing in the last year and a half is that I've noticed that I've wanted and I felt more comfortable in more feminine clothes instead of more loose and baggier clothes. Although I have been wearing more wider leg silhouette pants, which is really trending in Europe right now. So right now you can see I have a pair of wide leg pants on with a quite feminine top. And this is kind of the direction that I've been going to more lately. And so I'm going to be paying attention to those silhouettes through that favorites worksheet and writing down my favorites. And that's where I love to start, is with the favorites. So what are my favorite outfits that I've been wearing lately, and why are they my favorites? So you can pull that worksheet out, and if you have it, if you don't, you can always fill out the worksheets later. But I recommend that we start off now pulling your favorites. So it could just be a favorite top, a favorite pair of pants, a favorite outfit, whatever it is, dress. It doesn't have to be the whole outfit, but pull your favorites. All right. So this is my everyday clothes here, and I will give you a quick overhaul or showing. Sorry for this craziness. Okay. So this is my everyday clothes. I do have more sweaters in a bin here. These are my active wear. So gym and hiking and skiing stuff is in there. And I've cleared out this wardrobe a bit more because I'm going to be using it for organizing. So I also have ski stuff here. I know it's dark, but I'm going to be using this area for organizing. That's why I've pulled some stuff out and I've put it kind of here, because I'm also doing a switch from winter to spring and summer, which I know it's early. It's snowing here in Switzerland today, so it might be a little early to do this. But I'm for sure going to be pulling out my heavier, bulkier sweaters and putting those aside and kind of doing the whole spring cleaning. So, all right, who's there with me ready to pull your favorites? Give me a yes in the chat and let me know. And I'm going to start pulling my favorites. Okay, I see some of you working on it. Okay, hi, nice to see you. Sue joining. Retired French wear. Okay. Nice feminine tops. I completely agree. I need that too. And I've really found that I love the comfiness of the loose stuff, but I don't feel my best in it. And I have so many t-shirts. I have like a whole pile of t-shirts here. And I tend to wear those quite regularly, but because of the comfort, right? Because the fabric is comfortable, but it's not necessarily because I feel my best in them. Like I don't feel 100% my style sometimes. Yeah. Okay, and it might be hard because if you haven't done laundry recently, a lot of your favorites are probably in the laundry bin, like mine. So, paying attention to also what you have in your laundry bin as far as what your favorite outfits are. Okay. Oh. Okay, and for me, I'm kind of focusing more on spring going into summer as well, because that's where we're headed towards. But if you're on the other side of the hemisphere or whatever, also just think about what season you want to focus on if you have seasons. Okay. Oh, I love that. So, Eileen, you said you've been making tops in cotton knit with patterns that aren't t-shirts to get more of an upscale look. I was wearing t-shirts every day until I got this course. Oh, so glad. So yeah, exactly. Like figuring out ways with the comfortable fabrics to upscale it or make it more feminine or make it more designer, whatever kind of look you're going for is really important. Okay. Right, and I'm even pulling stuff out of my laundry because I want to get a complete picture of those favorites. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just share with you my screen here of favorites. All right, so it looks like a big mishmash, doesn't it? Anybody else have a mishmash of styles going on? Okay, so I would definitely be writing down on the worksheet why I love these. So we're looking at all of those things on the worksheet. And it's really interesting how much ends up being fabric related for me. But these two are for sure silhouette. Actually, a lot of them are silhouette related and fabric related. And if I think about my outfits and wearing them together, how many of them are actually definitely more on the feminine side. This one is more comfy and cozy. And I'm just kind of plopping them down into different outfits now. And maybe there's an outfit you haven't tried yet that you could mix and match. Okay, so I have all my comfy knitwear dresses that I absolutely love, and I wear those at home a lot. And this one is a little bit more dress it up, but I still wear it. Okay. All right, so I would kind of pull these together and definitely document why they're my favorites on that worksheet. This one I wear with, where is that? This one. Okay. And then just visually seeing, are there things that are missing? So further along in the course, we talk about outfit formulas. And we use this design process to figure out also what we're missing. And by the time you fill out those worksheets, you basically know what you're missing in your collection and what to focus on next. So those two go together. All right, and I try, when I do this process, I try not to get too caught up in trying things on. Because once you start trying things on, it's like a never ending cycle of like, oh, maybe this goes with this and that goes with this. I recommend to just pull those favorites, document those things that you love about them, and then move on to the next step. The next step is the non-favorites. So non-favorites, I try to focus on things that I haven't worn and that I'm willing to give up. And if you're not sure if you're willing to give it up, that's okay. You can just set it in a stack. I've pulled a bag that I've got with a couple things already in it that I kind of, as the year progresses, I usually put a few things under my bed. And then at the end of the year, or sometime during the year, I'll take it to the giveaway places. So the next thing I will go through and see, is there anything that I haven't worn in the last year? And if I haven't worn it in the last 2 years, then it's kind of a questionable. Like, do I really need this? Do I need to keep this? If it's because I've changed sizes, which I did lose a lot of weight, and I have a lot of pairs of jeans that are a bigger size, I will keep those. I have them on my alterations rack right now, but I probably will keep them as the bigger size. And I did buy new pairs of jeans. So if there's a reason like that you want to keep it, it's a great thing because, you know, our bodies are always changing. So go through and pick out the things that maybe you could give up. Maybe they're not your favorites, or if you wear them, you just feel kind of blah. Like, try to pull those out. And one good way of knowing if you haven't worn it in a while is if it's at the bottom of your stack. And if you're not somebody who flips your stack to the other side, things on the bottom of the stacks can often be those non-favorites that you haven't been wearing much. So, oh, you were just trying things on. You know what? If you want to try things on, you absolutely can. I just know that when I do this, I go down a rabbit hole if I start trying stuff on. And that's why I try to put stuff in piles. And then later, like if I just pulled a whole bunch of pairs of pants that I think are too big for me now. And I'm going to put those in my non-favorite pile, and then later I'm going to try those on and see how they fit. Who has difficulties giving away stuff they've sewn? Does anybody else have difficulties with that? Okay, do you save some pants just for the fabric to make something out of? You know, that's really funny you just asked that, because I have a pair of pants that are a pair of comfy pants, and I absolutely love this fabric. It is such a comfy fabric. And I've thought so many times, oh, I should cut these down and make them a little bit slimmer because they're really loose on me now. And I keep keeping them, but they keep staying inside my closet. So I end up, I'll wear them once in a while because they're looser instead of too tight. If they were too tight, I probably wouldn't be wearing them. But yeah, this is one pair that I would definitely make an alteration to make it smaller, or use the fabric to make something comfy. The downside is that this kind of waistband is taking up lots of height in the fabric. So I would for sure have to have a pretty big new waistband to work that. But it's really great that you brought that up, because you see, we're helping each other. I have a pile of alterations, which I pulled from my sewing room, which who has a pile of alterations? And that's going to go in the pile of alterations now. And maybe it doesn't become an alteration. Maybe it becomes a new style. All right. I've got some men's XXL knit tops to use as fabric. And you know what? That's the thing, is sometimes we can find garments that are cheaper than buying the fabric these days. It's really crazy. Right now, not liking the color of something I made, but it's hard to let it go. You know what? That's exactly this one right here. I'm not in love with the color, and I sewed this, and it's comfy, but when I wear it, I just feel like it's not 100% me. And yeah, that's definitely going in my non-favorites. And then this one, even though this one is a super nice fabric, and this I did not make, but when I wear it, just the color, I feel like it's just not for me. Like I feel like it makes my teeth look more yellow when I wear it. So it's like stuff like this that I know I'm being very vulnerable and sharing details, but it's stuff like that if you can identify those non-favorites, that's actually the next step. And while you're looking through these non-favorites, you can be like, oh, it's because the color, it's because the fabric, it's because the silhouette, all of those things on that worksheet. It helps us so that we don't make those same design mistakes again, whether it's buying or sewing, right? And that's the interesting thing. And sometimes, like this pair of pants, got so stretched out. One of my rules with sewing for pairs of pants is that it has to have elastane in it if it's not a woven. Woven fabrics can tend to retain their shape better, but if it's a knit, I need to have elastane. Otherwise it gets so stretched out. The knees look super loose and they don't look flattering to me. So that's one thing that if the fabric just loosens up so much when you wear it and you don't feel good, that's not great. Or maybe it's comfy, but you don't feel like you're super, the styling isn't quite right. So this is one that was a favorite at one time and I wore it so much. And I haven't gotten rid of it because I don't have another ivory kind of cardigan like this. So this is one that I definitely need to design into to replace it. So if you have something like that, you might want to set that aside in kind of your favorites area so that you know, okay, this is one I want to replace. It's too old now. It has a little bit of pilling on it. Okay. And try to stick to that collection, that mini collection you're working on. I just got down to those comfy clothes again and I'm like, nope, I gotta withhold, right? Working on the everyday clothes. Okay. Okay, alterations pile is growing. If you don't wear something because of the way it fits, try to make it fit if you think you'll still love it. I wish I could put music on. I can't put any music on because YouTube won't let me. But I hope you've got music going or an audiobook or something or just fun in the community. Oh, you found a top that you'd been looking for, put away in the wrong spot. Oh, so good. Do you remove buttons from things you don't keep? If it's not wearable, I will remove buttons and I also will remove buckles, things like that. I actually have a belt I'm getting rid of, but the buckle quality is not very good, so I won't keep that. If it's a garment that nobody else can wear or it's on its way out and it's got holes or pilling or anything, it doesn't look nice anymore, I will cut off the buttons. And there are some places that do recycling, which is becoming bigger and bigger with the clothing industry, but generally recycling of materials can only happen if it's 100% of something. So like 100% polyester, 100% cotton. Separating the fibers of the filaments is not easily done yet in the industry, but hopefully it's getting there. You make bags from old pants. Love that. Okay, so I have a big pile of non-favorites, and actually I'm surprised as to how many non-favorites I have. And then I have other stuff that it's like, oh, I wouldn't necessarily call them non-favorites. They're kind of in the middle ground. Like I like them, but I don't love them, I would say. And those I could also analyze those reasons why. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to probably organize my fresh area in the wardrobe unit that's empty into my outfits. So this is kind of optional on how you organize things, and you can also take some time and fill out those favorite forms now if you want, and the non-favorites as well. So non-favorites, I'm going to hold off on that until another day and focus on that later. That's module 2 of the course. Module 1 is really focusing on the favorites. And actually, you don't have to do outfits yet either. But I really have kind of laid out my clothes on the bed as outfits, and I'm going to put them up inside my collection as favorites, but I'm going to move things around. So I'm moving my winter stuff to the other one, and then I'm going to focus more on everyday clothes in this one here. But whatever you want, however you want. Oh, this is a favorite, but it's winter. Okay, still focusing on summer and spring. That's the tricky thing about these seasons, you know? Yeah, actually lots of these are favorites, but winter. Okay, so one of the other worksheets I sent you was the my favorite outfits, and this is kind of the setting up to make sure that you have everything you need in your favorite outfits and that you're mixing and matching enough. So we refer to that as merchandising when we're mixing and matching. And so a lot of the favorites I have are dresses for at home, like comfy dresses, but I also wear these out. So those would all be each of their own outfits. But whenever I'm mixing and matching my clothes together, I try to get multiple combinations. So for example, I wear this one with this top, and then I'll wear this top with this skirt. And I think we all do this in our collections, but sometimes we'll have a top that maybe we have, but it doesn't quite, this is one that I always tend to wear with jeans, which is great, but I always wonder, like, what else could I do with that? And when I love a specific silhouette, I could maybe mix it up with another silhouette type of thing and play around with those combinations a bit more. And maybe if I put these on and try this on, maybe I like this silhouette because it's quite fitted with this kind of looser A-line top up here that's fitted here, but A-line here. It would be a nice combination together. For the silhouette. So it could be that maybe I want to make a few more skirts like this, just making sure that it has elastane, because this one often is getting too stretched out when I wear it. But it's really nice and fitted, and it feels super comfy when I wear it. So filling out that my favorite outfits is really going to help you in that design process and figure out what you're missing. And that really, it all really guides you once you start filling out these forms. And so I know I have these all together. This is replace soon. These are combinations. And that's another combo. We often have multiple tops for each pair of pants too. Okay, and this one is a dress. It's a hand knitted dress that I bought, but I need to make a lining for it. It's see-through. So this is definitely like I would put this in my alterations pile until I get that lining made, and I would write that down on my outfit form so that I remember that that's part of the thing. I haven't even worn that dress yet because I don't have a complete outfit. Oh no, Sue. If you threw out everything you didn't like, you would have nothing to wear. I need this course to help me make a coordinated collection ready to wear. Usually does not fit my petite frame. I can completely relate to that as far as wanting to throw out everything and do a complete overhaul. I definitely get in those moods of like, hey, I don't love everything anymore, or maybe it's just like you're tired of it too. It depends, you can go in phases through your style too, of maybe you did like it at one point, but you're just tired of it. And okay, so these are all complete outfits because they're dresses, so these are going to get hung up. And that's a tricky thing. I highly recommend that when you do go through stuff that you really haven't worn in a while and that are not your favorites, document those things, because that's going to really make you the better designer. So most of the time, by the time you get through everything, like I have a whole bag here of all the stuff that I don't love anymore. And this shirt, I even altered it. This was from Vans back when I worked at Vans. And it was a competitor sample. And I completely took out the sleeve, put it back in. I wore it a lot, but I haven't worn it in a couple years. And I don't need it anymore. So it's like those things of why maybe you're just tired of it. Like, it doesn't have to be a specific, oh, I don't like the fabric, I don't like the fit. For me, it's slightly the silhouette, and also the masculine plaid is just not my thing anymore. So trying to define those things of why they're not your favorites is super important in that design process. And to be honest, I would say most people need this course. Like, most people go through the entire process of wanting an overhaul, but they don't know where to start. And once you fill out those worksheets, it's really going to help you. Okay, so like this, I've started to put my outfit on a hanger together so I can see kind of what it's looking like, and I'm going to hang that up in my closet. If you don't have space for all of it, you know, you don't have to do it in this way too. It's just kind of whatever works for you. And you could also fold it. It doesn't have to be hung. And you don't have to organize your collection by outfits, but for me, I like to see, okay, what have been my favorites lately, or last summer, last spring, autumn, as we go into this new season. Okay, I'm running out of hanging space, so I'm going to stack my combos together here. So those two, these are the more what is this fabric? This is one of my favorite tops, and I love the fabric. And I, of course, cut out the tag. And I think for me, like, the biggest thing is just not falling into that t-shirt and jeans look, because I feel like that's such an easy go-to, and that's what I try to avoid. Especially if I go out, I try to not wear just t-shirt and jeans, but I know that this is that needs washing. Okay, well, we'll pop that in for now. And I mean, even this process that I'm doing now is slightly different than the process I do in the online course. So whatever process is working for you the best is important that you figure out what works for you. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Okay, now what I really struggle with lately is these wide leg jeans, which just got these from Marco Polo. And you know, what I find is wearing a slimmer top tends to look better on me than wearing something looser. So I still have my slimmer cut jeans. And comboing that up with slightly looser up top, then I don't feel too baggy and shapeless, basically. This is a slim cut top. I'll wear those with my wide leg. Okay, these. Who's still with me? Are you guys still with me? How many things in your collection are made by you? You know, that's a great question. Okay, so I have gone through lots of phases, and my last move was 1.5 years ago. I got rid of so much stuff. I just wanted a completely different look. I had lots of personal life changes too. At that point, I think it was about 40% me made and 60% purchased. Now it's less me made. And it really just depends on how much time I take sewing. I only have 4 favorite tops. The rest are not great fits, just blah, plain t-shirt types or flat out t-shirts. Very sad, worked at home for a lot of years, so just lost in touch with this. Exactly. I mean, it's so easy to do, right? When you're just used to wearing comfort, and that's an easy go-to, then you don't have to make or buy stuff that's more designer focused. But I would say, even if I've purchased things, I think I've altered at least half of what I've purchased, at least. Probably more than that. So even like this cardigan, when I bought it, it was a really expensive cardigan, and I took it in. You can still see the seam that I sewed to make it a little bit tighter in the bust area here. So it's small things like that usually I have to make adjustments for me to feel good in it. If I purchased it, like this dress here, I purchased this actually online, but it keeps kind of folding over when I wear it. It folds over, and you can see the lining of it like that. And so the lining is too big for the outside. What happened here was, this is cotton, the lining is not cotton, the outside shrunk. And so the pattern maker did not account for the shrinkage in the pattern. And because of that, it's always folding out, and it drives me crazy. I've worn this dress only twice because of this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally take in the inside lining just by making a dart inside of it vertically to pull in that front area. So I'll put it on inside out and I'll pin it and then I'll sew it and fix that. Okay. Who's having fun? Anybody having fun? Okay. Oh, this goes here. All right, so this is where I'm ending up with outfits, and I'm going to start stacking them up. So I have one pair of pants, I have two tops. It just depends on how you work it. So on that My Favorite Outfit formula, you can also swap the column. The first column is shirts, blouses, tanks. You could also swap it to be the pants and the shirts column switched, possibly. So if you're somebody who has tons of tops and fewer pairs of pants, which a lot of people are, then you can also switch that combo. I do like to make sure, I mean, a lot of the tops you can tend to like switch with many pairs of pants. So it just depends on how you want to fill that out. But you can kind of, so these are all mix and match, and then these are probably, those are not mix and match with that silhouette. This could be mix and match here as well. So this whole stack could be all mix and match. This and this would be more my preferred than the dark and the light, but it's just, it is possible. So I'm going to stack that up. Okay, so this is where I'm left. I have two items that I definitely need replacing, but I won't get rid of them until I replace them because I still use them once in a while. And then this one, I for sure need to make a lining here. This one is just mix and match with anything, basically. Oh, this one. Yeah. Okay. And then this one, I want to make something kind of more like that striped skirt that I showed you. So I would write that on my worksheet here. Okay, so this is where I'm at with my collection. Okay, so here you can see these are all mix and match outfits in this stack. This is mix and match in this stack, and that's all mix and match up here. So that's where I'm at with favorites. Then I have the dresses here. Those are all complete outfits. And then I have kind of more skirt outfits here. And those are all favorites. So this is kind of where I'm at with favorites. And then for winter, I'm kind of here, and those are all favorites. So then I'm left with t-shirts, which are kind of boring here. And then I have shorts, which I haven't gotten into because that's really summer and we're not quite there yet. And then I've got kind of my jeans that maybe they're skinny fit, and I've kind of switched over to more wider leg and straight leg still. So these are kind of questionable here. Then I have still my huge pile of non-favorites. And my next step would be to go through those non-favorites, and before I get rid of them, mark down why they're my non-favorite. Keep that. That's such critical information for your design process so that you're not making those same design mistakes or purchase mistakes in the future. And yeah, so that's it. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and mark all of that stuff on my worksheets. Are there any questions? I do this process when packing for holiday. It is such a great process for holiday, isn't it? And and it's the best thing about holiday is you tend to take your favorites, right? Because you want to look and feel great in those favorites. And so it is a great thing to go through and assess, why are those your favorites, right? And that information is gonna design and help you in that design process. It makes you a much stronger designer when you know why you love certain things, and you actually put words to it too. I mean, just knowing that this plaid shirt makes me feel not as feminine as I'd like anymore, that's a good thing to know. Those are good keywords. And before we went through the course, we defined what are those words that we want to focus on. So I think that was one of the bonuses in the course, was using those words to kind of guide us in creating a collection that we love. And just remember, like, you can use this process whether or not it's for garments that you sew or garments that you buy, and we're designing into the things that we're missing. So I do, when I have gone through this process and I've kind of stacked all those mix and match things, the next couple of weeks I'm going to be, after I do the call, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to fill out these worksheets, and then I'm going to watch and see, okay, out of these outfits, how else can I mix and match these? What else is a favorite of mine that I throw in here and add to it? And what am I missing? What haven't I been able to wear yet? And then why am I missing it? And then we design into that. So, and the nice thing too is that silhouette guide. So once you get to that silhouette guide, once you've done all of this kind of pre-process of what's missing, what do I love, what don't I love, then going through that silhouette guide, it's so eye-opening to be like, oh my gosh, this is why I didn't love that, and this is why I didn't feel good in that, because it wasn't the right silhouette for my body type. So yeah, okay, still have enough going out clothes that I can wear even though I've gained weight. Wonderful. And that's great to feel like you can feel yourself and your style at whatever size you are, and your size is perfect the way it is. And we're always fluctuating. Every single woman is fluctuating, whether you see it or not. It is happening. All right. So glad you're enjoying the process, and very interesting to watch my thought process. It's so cool. Really glad that you guys are enjoying it. And let's see. So we still have people on the call. Shall we keep going? I'm going to start filling out my worksheets. Do you want to stay on the call and keep filling it out together with me? Or shall I call it done for today and then keep filling it out on my own? Let me know if you're still working on things and if you want to keep working on the live together. Okay, the best part is not wasting effort and dollars on the wrong items. Absolutely. And it is such an interesting process, because so many times I've heard of it over and over again that people just want to do that full overhaul of everything. They get rid of it, and it feels so great when you do get rid of stuff. But at the same time, if we're not learning from those mistakes, how are we going to grow and make sure that we are not making those mistakes again in the future? Okay, so you think you're good for now. I'd love to see what you like or you don't, to see why I like or don't like something. Okay. Oh, I'd like to see how you do the outfits page, as this is new to me form. Okay, so definitely, Eileen, definitely check out the course, because I do go through it in depth about filling out that outfits worksheet, and we're basically going through that And I teach that in the course. So I want you to keep going through, but you're filling out that worksheet and you're saying, okay, this is my purple 3/4 knit sweater with zippers on the sides so that I know what it is. And then I'm filling out the next column and I mix it with these this pair of pants, this skirt. I have over layers of this and that, accessories, shoes, that kind of thing. What makes it a complete outfit that you love? I actually just got this necklace, which is super shiny. And I've been wearing it with so many of my outfits because it just kind of dresses it up a little bit. And especially the high neck tops, because that, if you remember in that silhouettes module, we go through high neck tops look great with long necklaces. And I have a few mock turtleneck tops that are newer. And I love that necklace with it. And it's like stuff like this that I'm mixing and matching new things and what makes it a complete outfit. Today I was wearing that necklace to go out to lunch with someone, and I took the necklace off when I was figuring out my outfit because I hadn't put this combination of outfit together before with the cardigan I was wearing. I took the necklace off to check it, and it wasn't a complete outfit anymore. It was like, oh, it's missing something. And then I was like, oh, but it's maybe a little dressy for lunch today. And then I looked at my other necklaces and I'm like, oh, I don't have other more casual long necklaces. So that's something that I would be missing, that I want to fill out on that outfit formula worksheet and say, okay, that's something I'm missing. And I'm going to make sure I add that. So you're circling that on the worksheet. So anything that you're like, oh, I'm missing this or that, that's how you fill out that worksheet. Oh, wonderful. You sorted out your whole wardrobe, enjoying watching the process. Okay, wonderful. So you'd like to see why I like or don't like some things. So, yes. And actually I do go through this in the course as well, but sometimes it's for fit. Sometimes it's the colors, fabric, all of those things. That example I actually give in the course. So I'll give a different example. Why I like something. So so this top, I absolutely love it, and I was just wearing it today. It has a dolman sleeve. It's a nice silhouette, super soft fabric. It mixes and matches with so many clothes in my collection. It has a matching skirt to it even. And the only thing I don't like about it is the neckline is a little bit too high and it kind of bubbles a bit right here. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Everything else I love. The fabric's soft. It's a fully fashioned top. I bought it in Italy in the autumn and it's become one of my favorites. This is the skirt that goes with it. And this skirt, the reason why I love it, number one, the fit for it. It's really fitted up top, which you can't tell, but it A-lines out and it has an asymmetrical hemline, which I think it just gives it a more fashionable look to it. And it really is more form-fitted. So I feel like even though it's a dolman sleeve, and dolman sleeve is generally not as flattering on a woman, because it's tight here at the bottom and the skirt up top is a little bit tight, I feel more feminine when I wear it. And yeah, I wore that for my birthday party this year and I absolutely loved it. So that's why I like that one. That's a newer one in my collection. And I try to put the bottoms underneath my items and then the tops on top. But that's just my preference. And I'm going to definitely be adding to this in the next 2 weeks because I am going through the whole course again, basically. And okay, so why don't I love something? This top, I'll just pop it on. What I don't love about it is usually there's something about the fit, like that fully fashion top. I can't make an alteration to it because it was linked together. They do that with a linking machine. And if you cut and sew it, you're going to probably have unraveling of the knit. Okay, so this top, why don't I love it? Because the seams are really low on me. So it really needs an alteration to get a more flattering look on it. It usually wouldn't be down here on me. It would usually be up higher. So I would probably do an alteration like this and take it out of that seam and raise it up to be directly under the bust, which is the most slimming look. So we can see that difference between over here where it's kind of, it's not bad, but it's one reason why it's not 100% perfect, right? So if we had that on both sides and we're taking it out, and that's an easy correction, right? So when we're sewing, we can make these adjustments and we can see, okay, that's already more flattering to me for just the location of that seam. But this is still, I would say, a favorite, not for the fit, but for the feminine silhouette. So, and the fabric is super comfy too. So it's finding those more feminine silhouettes with a combination of comfy fabric, and then the fit is generally the top things, and the color too. And. Okay, why is something less of a favorite? This one is less of a favorite because of the puckering at the neckline, which I know for most people, they don't care about that. But for me, it does drive me crazy. And if I don't iron it, it doesn't look as great and I don't feel as good on it when I wear it. Now, the other thing that I don't love about it is it has this static. So you can see kind of here how it's like clinging to the other the fabric just behind it. That's the static. And it drives me crazy because it should be a more loose top and I should be able to just pop it on and it should hang well, right? This one is 100% because the fabric is not, it tends to stick to what I'm wearing if I'm wearing anything under it. And then if I tuck it in, it's not terrible, but I feel like it's just not super flattering. So it's like a combination of a lot of things. Static clinging, the fabric it's not super soft. The silhouette is not super flattering. It's okay. And then also the workmanship up here. So this one I did not make, but yeah, and then we can kind of keep going through. This skirt is interesting because even though it's super feminine, it looks actually really short on here on the video. It's not that short. The reason, even though it's hitting that feminine mark for me, I feel like a little girl when I wear it, and I'm in my mid 40s and I don't need to feel like a little girl. And probably it's because I did make several skirts like this when I was younger, and I wore these a lot up until like a few years after university. I had made a lovely silk chiffon skirt that was this exact same silhouette. So it's probably bringing me back to that silhouette of my younger years, and I feel too young when I wear it, which isn't a bad thing, I guess, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like me. So if it's not feeling like me, then it gets the cut, right? So all right, wonderful. So glad that all of you have joined. I see a lot of you are still on. I want you to keep going through this process, fill out those worksheets. And I'm going to keep filling them out. I'm going to stick on for just a little bit longer because I want you to keep going too. And we're in this together. So, okay. And of course we can draw those silhouettes, which definitely helps. And that fashion design book if you want help with drawing and it's not your skill set, that fashion design book definitely helps too for that. But I do super fast sketches. They often don't look the best, but at least it helps me to know what it is. Okay, and so the interesting thing as we go through this later in the other modules, you're going to find all of those similarities again in your design process. So if you went through the course already in the comfy wear collection that I did, I noticed I had the same kind of collar, like oversized big collar that I loved. And here I've just noticed that I have the same kind of mock turtleneck collar that I absolutely love too. And then we're also looking for similarities in the coloration. So I think everybody knows that my favorite color is purple, probably because of my website. But we can see I have purple over and over again, and that is in the bonus of the modules as well. The coloration that's the best for your the body type as well is in there. So we can see kind of this is my whole collection is actually already in a good color range for favorites. I definitely have other ones that are kind of in the more basic range here for that is maybe not in the same color range, but I could try to build out some of those into my favorites and see in the next weeks, am I hitting those favorites? Is it feeling like it's my style, my current style, and so on. Oh, and I have to take that top off. That one has pilling in it, and that fabric is not super comfy, so that one is going away as well. All right. Okay, so glad that you guys are all still joining and still filling out those worksheets. This one has to go. All right, wonderful. So glad that you've joined. More than halfway through my summer wardrobe, still filling out the form. Thanks so much. So glad that you're joining and you're filling out the work, the forms. Okay, no problem. Some of you are heading out. Enjoy the session. So glad. Wonderful. Greetings from Sweden. Okay. So glad that you guys have joined. Okay, I think we are off to a wonderful start. And one thing I really, really want you all to do is to fill out that form before you get rid of stuff. Definitely do it. It's going to be such a huge, huge help for you. It's going to make you a much stronger designer. Once you have all of these forms filled out, it makes filling out that silhouette Bible like such a breeze. And a lot of this is the hardest work actually of the entire course. You can also go through the in that first module. Once you've done this part, we do that mini collection assessment for each lifestyle section in your life to see, okay, what if we have 100 garments that are for professional wear, which I used to have for going to the office every day. But now my lifestyle's changed and it's now at home. So we have to see, okay, where does that need to shift? And when I moved in the last move, I got rid of so much of my professional collection because I just wasn't wearing it anymore. So you can also do that if you want. But once you have this stuff filled out, keep watching the course because this was the hardest part of the entire process. And in the next 2 weeks, you're going to start building out those outfits, that outfit formula worksheet's going to come in super handy. And then okay, what are my favorites? And you keep wearing those favorites and you keep building them out. And then you figure out, okay, I have a dress that I absolutely love and I have nothing to wear it with because it's see-through and I need to make a lining for it. And I haven't done it and I got it last summer. So it helps us guide us in that process. So wonderful that you guys could join, and I'm going to keep filling out this worksheet and I'll see you in the community. So jump into that private community that you're a part of through the course and keep going through this process, and I'll see you in that community. All right. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed this too.